When thinking about how to tackle this topic, I had to think of if I should categorize this as a theory or as a headcanon. Ultimately, as you can tell by the title card, I decided to label it as a headcanon. However, headcanons are a bit of a touchy subject because they can vary from being borderline true and even possible within canon to absolutely absurd and just a fan's fantasy. I'll be focusing on headcanons that are more plausible, even if the logic isn't entirely sound when pulling up the facts from the canon. Headcanons are meant to be fun and personalized, so yes, chances are they're going to have flaws. In terms of TF2, most people tend to like to believe that Respawn exists within its world. The main reason as to why is due to not only the frequency of death and carelessness littered throughout the world, but also as part of the technology that already exists within it. We have teleporters, cloaking devices, and even life-extending machines. Because of this, let's analyze a very popular headcanon, Respawn. Now, if you're out of the loop, Respawn is the ability to return to life after death, but I'm sure we all know this considering it is an integral part of the game. While there are a few variations of how Respawn works in the world of TF2, it's generally accepted that it's made possible by a machine. With the general stuff out of the way, it's time for me to start elaborating on how I personally think Respawn works, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. Starting with Respawn being accomplished by a machine, the machine itself is a large and complicated one. Each base is fitted with a respective red and blue Respawn machine that's upkept by the engineers. The way I see the machine working is it houses some sort of template of each person who's been hooked up to the machine. This template updates at a specific time each day so that the person isn't getting respawned into an older version of themselves. How it works is that every time a person dies, the machine recognizes the person is dead and begins to reconstruct them cell by cell. However, respawn is an incredibly painful process because it's reconstructing the entire body. The more severe the death was, the more painful the respawn is. The respawn machine stays on even during any ceasefires off the battlefield, in case the mercenaries end up accidentally dying. However, respawn does have a range that's limited to inside and around whatever base it's located in. Once someone steps off the base, they're vulnerable to death. Die outside of respawn range and you die for real. Same goes for if the machine loses power. If you die while it's down, you die for real. Now, I'm sure you're on the edge of just writing down a very contradictory comment, saying how none of this could have been canon, because if it exists, why can't the people using the life-extending machines use respawn and never die? Why did the mercenaries die in the comics with no respawn to fall back on? Respawn is just a game mechanic and not really supposed to be part of the lore. I raise you one crucial fact about headcanons. They aren't necessarily theories. Headcanons are more so fun things someone believes that has roots in a canon fact. But for contradictory purposes, let me address those flaws with my reasons and logic. Users of the life extender machines would be unable to use respawn due to the fact that they wouldn't come back with the life extender machines. That's a crucial part to their survival. If they were to be respawned, they'd almost immediately die due to a lack of constant flow of Australium through their systems. In terms of comics, that falls back into Respawn having a range and needing to be on. In the current comic series, the mercenaries are traveling around the world with no access to Respawn machines. Is it just a game mechanic? Sure, it very well could be. Respawn in more realistic games like Call of Duty aren't a part of the story and lore, but TF2 is known for bending the rules of reality. Hell, it's even got magic in it. So if you really wanted to say, respawn could be done by magic. I mean, Marasmus did have those die and come back stronger pills that Soldier was stealing. So while I don't consider this a full theory since I've inserted some of my own beliefs, a respawn machine is a very popular TF2 theory, so it could have been chalked up to being a theory. But for the sake of the video, I've labeled it as a headcanon since I've put it in ways I think it works. What are you guys' theories on respawn and how it works? Or do you think it doesn't exist? Whatever that may be, tell me in the comments below. I'd love to see what others think about respawn. Hope you enjoyed the topic covered in this video, and I hope to see you next time.